Hello everyone, I am here to present my work on iGLU 1.1 towards the glucose insulin model based closed loop Internet of Medical Thing framework for automatic insulin control. Myself is one of the author of the paper, Dr. Amit M. Joshi, working at Malviya National Institute Technology, Rajasthan, Jaipur, India, along with my two author Pratik Jain, he is my student, and SP Mohanty sir, who is my mentor. So, uh, outline of the talk is presently we will discuss about some introduction, then whatever the related work is being done, our vision for iGLU automatic glucose monitoring and its control with the IOMT framework. Then we will see the diabetes control system. Then we will talk about our novel contribution. Then whatever our proposal for a automatic glucose control model that we will discuss. Then we will finally discuss about simulation result and its discussion, and finally conclusion. So diabetes is one of the prominent disease around the world, which is basically related to the blood glucose. Where blood glucose is high, then probably we need to be more worry about it. So blood glucose is a main source of the energy, and that comes out from the food. Now diabetes is generally caused by a deficiency of the insulin with respect to the glucose which is being generated in our body. So because of the diabetes, maybe you can have a chances of having a cardiovascular disease, maybe some sort of a eyes problem, or maybe the muscle and fat liver maybe dies. So there are other associated problems. So ultimately we need to control our diabetes. So there are three type of different diabetes versions are there. Type 1 diabetes, where body does not generate any insulin inside our pancreas system. So it can be appear at any stage. So that is a type 1 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes is the most commonly being observed around the world. Well, pancreas is able to generate some amount of insulin, but that is not the sufficient. Then gastral diabetes, that is basically related to the means pregnant woman, and during the pregnancy they will observe this kind of diabetes. So ultimately around the world 463 million adults are living in the diabetes. uh, that is a very huge number, and that number is actually more when we talk about the low and middle countries for Asia and Africa, and probably it is going to be increased in next decade also. So this is just a graphical representation of what was there before 2 decades, and what is over here, and what would be expected in probably around 20 to 25 years. So if you observe that that number is going to increase around 1.7 to 1.8 times from the current trend, and it would be the huge problem. Now our main approach is to go for a non-invasive detection. Presently diabetes is being measured most commonly with the invasive measurement. Probably means we are going for a laboratory test, or maybe we have some instant diagnostic kit like a SD check through which we are measuring the diabetes. uh, Another method is a serum glucose, that is actually through from the laboratory that what we are measuring. We are proposing non-invasive approach where actually there is no need to have any blood taking, so it can save us with the effect of the trauma. So that is a basically a optical detection method, and then we are using some machine learning in order to predict the blood glucose value of a person. Now, this is a slide of our current vision, which is a intelligent non-invasive monitoring, and then it is a control. So ultimately, our non-invasive device will continuously measure, and according to that, we can actually secrete the insulin with the help of the doctor, or maybe control can be at the user end also. So this is our first version of the iGlu that we are defining as iGlu 1, where we are basically measuring the capillary glucose with the help of our machine learning approach. So the flow is basically we are collecting the data with through some particular channel. So basically three channel data we are using. Basically we are using absorption and the reflectance spectroscopy. Then whatever the voltage value that we are getting, that voltage value we are actually calibrating with respect to the reference glucose value that we are basically measuring through SD check. Then with the machine learning model we are predicting the model, whatever the predicted model value that we are again comparing with the reference blood concentration which is actually being measured through a SD check, and then probably we are finding out some parameter. So iGlu 2 is just a updated version of our previous version, where basically here we are using a reference glucose value that is from a serum. So we have some collaboration with a laboratory through which we have getting the serum glucose value, and that we have used as a reference for a machine learning model. Then actually we have then observed the value whatever through our model, and that we have actually compared with the capillary glucose and a serum glucose, and we have observed the serum glucose is more precise, and that is also a doctor protocol, that doctor is also used to advise you a serum glucose only because that is more precise. So presently in this paper we are focusing on iGlu 1.1 because for a measurement we are using a iGlu 1.0 model, and from that model actually we are developing our controlling solution for a glucose insulin model. So that's why it is a iGlu 1.1. We have also considered four different cases and where our model we have validate. Then our model is being integrated IOMT framework where remote located diabetes patient can have a prescribed diet from a diabetologist also. So in a smart healthcare, actually there is a requirement of a continuous glucose measurement because of our unhealthy lifestyle and unbalanced diet. So that we can measure the blood glucose whenever it is required. So this is a glucose insulin control closed loop system. Usually we will be in a blue area. When we take any food, then through the food, whatever we take or whatever we ate, from that the glucose is being generated through a alpha cell with a glucagon. So that is responsible for a glucose generation. Our beta cell which is there in our pancreas, so alpha and beta both you will find out in a pancreas. So beta cell is basically useful for a insulin secretion. So basically this balance we need to always take care in order to maintain our diabetes. So we have developed a mathematical model. So there are various model. One of the popular model which is being approved by FDA is a UA Padova simulator, which is very well known. But we have developed our own model, and that is being simulated on a MATLAB. So we have actually considered various parameter for a development of our model: glucose absorption rate, net haptic glucose balance, peripheral glucose utilization, and renal excursion rate. That are the parameter that we have considered for our mathematical model, and that we have actually gone through some literature and through which we have decided that these are the important parameter. So basically this is a proposed model which is being actually integrated with the IOMT, and that actually help you to balancing of your glucose through insulin. So this diagram is just a proposed framework through IOMT where when we measure our blood glucose, then there can be a normal range which is usually around 70 to 150. If it is below, then it is hyperglycemia. So and at that time we do not have to take a insulin. Insulin is necessary when you have a blood glucose is in higher side, that is a hyperglycemia case. So at that time through our device we can measure the glucose value. Then whatever the blood glucose value along with the plasma insulin and whatever the parameter that we have defined, that we will be provide as an input, and through which the prescribed insulin can be generated with the help of diabetologist. Okay, so these are the some mathematical relation that we have used. So equation 1 suggests is a plasma insulin rate which depends upon the absorption of the insulin as well as the insulin distribution volume as well as the rate constant, which is defined as a PIE, rate constant of the insulin reduction. Then the actual insulin can be measured with the second equation where P1 and P2 are the constant, IP is the insulin level and I is the insulin actual value. Your absorption rate is being defined by equation 3 where I type is a specific parameter for the insulin. For a three different type, it can have short, intermediate and long acting insulins. T is a time, D is a dose and TD50 is a 50% of the consumption of the overall dose that you have taken. So that P and Q is actually the parameter which actually helps to find out the TD15. Then I absorption by putting this TD15 value will get the equation 5. The equation 6 is a steady state insulin value that we have measured for 2 days. So with that the actual insulin value that we have derived, that is basically measured for 2 days at an interval of 12 and then we are doubling the value, we are measuring it at every twice of the time and then we can find out the equilibrium insulin level with the help of equation 8. Now equation 10 is a glucose plasma level that basically depends upon net haptic glucose balance. Then it is GABU gut, that is a absorption glucose from a gut, that is from actually the liver. Then GIU is a consumption of the glucose level. GREN is a renal excursion when you have a glucose value more than a limit, then probably the glucose will be excreted through a renal. Then with this equation you can find out the value. Then GIU is another version of the what we have discussed above. So this equation del G gut is a rate of change in gut glucose, that is basically depends upon the amount of glucose in the gut with the constant parameter K, and GM2 is a gastric emptying which actually measures that when we have a glucose value without doing any work or exercise, then that is the value that is being measured. This is a baseline characteristic of a different samples that we have collected. We have taken a pre-diabetic, diabetic and healthy samples. We have applied some specific wavelength in order to measure the blood glucose. So actually we have taken a combination of three which we found observed that is giving the more precision. So that is being done. So we have applied a regression model, logistic SVR, deep neural network, and we have observed that the multiple polynomial with degree 3 is comes out to be a best one for our model. Now that same thing that we have done for the serum glucose measurement, all kind of people we have considered, and then we have applied a different kind of SVR method with a different color, DNN and MPR tree, and the results are being observed. We have compared our iGlu 1 result with the iGlu 2, that is a capillary against the serum, and serum we have observed it is a best one. Now in order to validate our model, we have considered 4 different cases. First case is a woman which is having a age of 70 kg, which is having a problem of the insulin. She used to take a injection thrice in a day, and she wants to start his family. So at that time the first graph is a blood glucose value which is for a black one, and plasma glucose is being defined as a red one. The middle graph is our parameter which is being generated from our proposed mathematical model, and third one is a diet insulin for a short acting and a long acting insulin for the case 1. Similarly case 2 we have considered where 45 age people with a 68 kg which is having a problem of the insulin and he has to take a short insulin dose 4 times a day. For that also we have done the analysis and we have come out with the some values. Third is a overweighted patient age 58 which is having a age of 98. So she is a sensitive towards the insulin secretion, and she has a problem also smokes with some chances of the heart attack. For that also we have applied our model. The fourth case is a 18 years old insulin dependent patient which is having a 70 kg age, and for that also we have found out. So these four cases actually we have discussed with the doctor, and with the help of the doctor only we have decided that these are the cases which we need to consider. Now these are the table result that is being measured. So our proposed work is a basically MATLAB based. So other are based on the standard UA Padova simulator, and our basically actual glucose that is being collected through a patient, and we have actually taken a real subject rather than a virtual, and we have observed that our glucose insulin model is working very fine. So conclusion is to control the type 1 diabetes mellitus, a glucose insulin model is required for a artificial pancreas system. The mathematical model is being developed for in a proposed work, and we have validated with the four different cases also. So the future work, maybe we can go for a real-time artificial pancreas system where we can have a glucose balance with the insulin, and maybe we can go for a variable device where we can have some sort of a profile, glucose profile for a human body. And of course we are trying to go for a portable and user friendly solution with this. So these are the four paper that is being published, and you can find it out at Google Scholar. So if any further you have that, then we would be happy to answer you. So this is the email ID of one of our author, Sarju Mohanty sir. You can ask the query to him. He will be able to give the answer. Thank you. Thank you all of you.